What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another weather forecast here by Age's Weather Forecast. This is going to be another severe update here for the upcoming severe weather outbreak likely for the next coming days. Most likely, the worst of it will be in the South Central, like I expected. Most likely Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, even portions of Arkansas. You guys can get hit really hard, especially tomorrow all the way to the 22nd. But we're going to be monitoring the timing, who can see the worst, and also the probability for tornadoes, hail, and winds all throughout this video. I'm also going to have another tropical update later in this, maybe 2 hours or so, on the Saharan dust layer coming up here. So be sure to watch, stay tuned for that video. But before we get in the video, please smash that subscribe button so I know you love my channel and so your awesome support. And also be sure to hit that like button to let me know that I am keeping up with these awesome uploads. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So we're going to be starting off with day 1 outlook, which means we are looking at what we're going to be expecting throughout today. We have 2 areas of a slight risk for severe weather, which is a level 2 out of 5. So if you're in a slight risk, you can't rule out the possibility for maybe a tornado or two. And really the biggest threat right now is hail and winds right now with a slight risk. So we have 1 area in the northern plains in the Midwest for the Dakotas. I could not get that out of my mouth. All the way to portions of Nebraska with a slight risk. And we also have the South Central, again, now under a slight risk for portions of Oklahoma and Texas. So we have a very widespread area for potential severe weather today. Going to be seeing some semi-discrete, maybe discrete cells moving in. We have a lot of Cape Valleys as well. We have a lot of energy in the atmosphere. Doesn't seem like it's going to cap out. We also have a lot of tropical moisture coming in from the Gulf, so it's very favorable to see some really strong storms here, but don't expect a whole ton of tornadoes today. Now we're going to go ahead and check out the tornado probability. Like I said, we don't have a 2% chance here, so not a huge probability for tornadoes. The highest probability is a 2% chance, and that's going to be for the South Central. So like I said, hail and wind is the reason why we have these slight risks today. So let's go and check out the hail probability. As you see, those areas where we have the slight risk are under a 15% chance now for potential hail. This hail will most likely be a 2 to 3 inch diameter, so it won't be extremely large, like 4-inch sized hail or even softball sized hail. But we're going to be seeing that very widespread hail probability from all the way to the Texas-Mexico border to the Canada border. So you could very well see a probability for some really strong storms to move in here. And is a very widespread threat throughout all of the plains for hail. So we may not see extreme damaging hail, but we're seeing very widespread hail. And we also have a very widespread wind threat as well. We have areas for 3 areas where we have a 50% chance for damaging hail, which is 65 plus miles per hour. Here we have 3 areas where the slight risk are, as you see, but not too big of an issue for today. Really, I think that my main days are focused on day 2 and day 3. Let's go and check out day 2. I actually predicted this enhanced risk, actually, I think 2 days ago. Wait, was it yesterday? I don't know if it was yesterday, but I made a video on the severe weather, and I said we can have an enhanced risk for those areas, and I even circled it. And I was really actually accurate on this, so I did kind of call this. I did see this coming. I did say we're going to have this South Central severe weather to come back like an April-May pattern. Here it is in June, another May and April pattern for the South Central and the original Tornado Alley. Here we have our first enhanced risk since, I think, June. Since like June, I don't know exactly remember when. I think the last time we had an enhanced risk for the past week and a half, I believe. So severe weather has been quite inactive for the past couple of days. But here it is ramping up once again. We have areas like, I believe, Wichita, Kansas, and areas near Tulsa, I believe, or Tulsa is just actually on the border of this enhanced risk. Also have areas like Miami, Oklahoma, and far north central Oklahoma. So if you know anybody in those areas, they are under this enhanced risk in the orange counties here. So be sure to let them know that they can very well see a probability for some tornadoes, but not rule out the possibility for a 10% chance out here. This is definitely the biggest day so far, and we have a very widespread slight risk all the way for portions of the Midwest to the South Central, all the way to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, much of Kansas, actually, much of Kansas and much of Oklahoma are under that slight risk. So be sure to watch out. Could be very widespread, whether it's a tornado report or even hail reports, very widespread severe weather impacts for portions of the plains tomorrow for Father's Day. As you see, 5% chance for tornadoes. I could very well see, I think we can have a 10% chance non-hatch risk by tomorrow or by the day one. So I won't rule out the possibility for a 10% chance. But like I said, it's not extremely possible or likely, but I'll give like a 50% chance for a 10% chance to actually happen here. So obviously, we're going to start seeing the severe weather starting to act up once again. And who knows if it starts acting up immediately. But there we have a 5% chance for tornadoes. Hail's at a 15% chance. I think that's going to be added to a 30% chance without a doubt. I do see us having a 30% chance by tomorrow here. So that's hail. And then wind threat is now at a 30% chance. I don't see this going to hatched, but here we have a 30% chance. And that's exactly where we have the enhanced risk there due to that 30% chance of winds. Let's go check out the day 3. I think day 3 will also go enhanced risk. I think the enhanced risk will most likely maintain in this general area. If we have enhanced risk, I think we can very well see an enhanced risk for this area. Or if we're not, we're going to be seeing an enhanced risk for this general area most likely here. This is where I predict possibly if we have an enhanced risk, which I could see happening by tomorrow actually. I think we can have an enhanced risk for the day 3, or will be currently day 2 at that moment. But this is exactly where, so if you guys want to actually, if we have an enhanced risk, I'll go back and see if I actually was accurate. But in my general states will be Oklahoma, Kansas, and maybe the tip of Missouri. But if it's Oklahoma and Kansas, then technically I was pretty accurate there. But now let's go and check out now the radars and also the numbers here. So here we are looking at the south central radar here. As you see, we do have a slight risk for today. It's going to be seeing some scattered strong storms today throughout these areas in south central, including mainly the Oklahoma area, and could be seeing some strong storms in north central. But maintaining the close eye on day 2 and day 3, very strong storms by tomorrow here. We have a low pressure system. We're ready for portions of western Texas by tomorrow morning. We see scattered semi-discrete or discrete cells. We're going to be seeing very widespread pop-up storms, thunderstorms throughout the south central tomorrow with a lot of energy here. But really, day 3, June 22nd is really my main area here. Look at June 22nd, very strong potential linear line of storms like we saw with in South Dakota, I believe 2 weeks ago. We had a line like this. We saw tornadoes all over in a line like that in South Dakota. So this could very well, actually from South Dakota to North Dakota. That's exactly why I am seeing probability for a 10% chance for tornadoes for those areas in Nebraska, or for a 10% chance for where we have the enhanced risk. And this is going to be bringing very strong storms from Texas all the way to Nebraska, and then they kind of fall apart. But not going to be giving up on these strong storms. And then by June 23rd, these storms kind of do fall apart. And then they'll start heading towards the southeast and probably bring in some really strong and heavy rain for portions of the Ohio Valley. Let's go and take a look at the Cape values here for the next coming days. So this is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing some lower Cape values up to around just surpassing 2,000 joules per kilogram there right now. Like I said, energy is really going to pop up out of nowhere by tomorrow morning of Father's Day, which is exactly where we're going to be seeing these really strong semi and very widespread discrete cells across the south central, even plains tomorrow. We're going to be surpassing 3,000 joules per kilogram, even nearing that 3,500 joules per kilogram mark there for those areas, up to 3,600 joules per kilogram. So that's very good numbers. But those numbers skyrocket by the evening of Father's Day. Very widespread, extremely high number, 4,500 joules per kilogram there, surpassing 4,500 in some areas in Oklahoma. And then look at this, by the morning of June 22nd, this is exactly my day focus, June 22nd, the morning of June 22nd, surpassing 5,000 joules per kilogram, 5,300 joules per kilogram, 4,900, even areas at possibly 5,200 joules per kilogram for those areas in portions of Oklahoma and Texas. So very big possibilities. We're definitely not going to be seeing limited amounts of energy. Up to 4,000 joules per kilogram as far north as portions of Kansas City, 4,300 joules per kilogram. Very high amount of energy there. And then by June 23rd, we're still seeing very good amount of energy in the south central, and this is going to be bringing up to possibly 5,300 joules per kilogram for portions of Texas there. I see up to possibly 5,000 joules per kilogram for portions of Arkansas, up to 4,700 joules per kilogram. And then those numbers kind of stay, maybe some higher numbers for the tropics or for the Gulf Coast, but nothing really other than that. Let's go and check out now the SCP, or the supercell composite parameter. This is measuring the probability or possibility of seeing supercells, which obviously bring tornadoes, very strong winds, hook echoes, and even more. We're going to be seeing up to a 40 by later today, a 40 on the SCP, which is absolutely crazy, a very high number there. As we now go later into tomorrow, though, as we get later, into tomorrow, numbers will skyrocket once again up to a 20, up to, I believe, a 21 as well. Anything higher than 20 is considered a high number or high probability for supercells. Up again into the 22nd here, very good numbers, possibly over 25, 24, 22 for those areas in the South Central. And then by the 23rd, we're going to have it to a 21 as well, 26, even 27 on the SCP. So very good numbers for the next 3 days. We can be seeing a very big supercell threat here. So this is definitely a very long track severe weather event for the next 3 days here. So just because today may not be bad, tomorrow and then the 22nd and the 23rd could very well bring in a lot of activity in the exact same areas. Last thing we're going to be looking at is the wind shear here. So as you know, when we have a lot of wind shear in these areas, this produces a really strong severe storms, and it even makes the probability a lot higher. So we are seeing a wind shear flow here for portions of the South Central. This is really going to bring in that higher probability for some supercells there. And then even by the 23rd, we have a strong flow of wind shear, which is also going to increase that threat for the 23rd. Maybe even bringing another slight risk for day 3. But hope you guys, another enhanced risk for day 3. Hope you guys did enjoy the video though, and bye guys.